Warning: this story contains words some people may find offensive. Good evening. Welcome to 1001 Nights in a Two-Hat Restaurant, the podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Trechak. Let me take your coat and cloak your umbrella, and I'll show you around the restaurant. Life as you thought you knew it changes once you walk through that door. Rules and beliefs you held dear, principles and truths. Don't get too attached, the game's about to change. Let's work on your vocabulary. Food first. You need to know your amuse-bouche from your petit fours. Know your velouté from your consommé. Know your raclette from your taleggio and your roquefort from your gorgonzola. It's not a scullery, it's a wash-up. They're not dish pigs, they're kitchen porters. Sometimes a spider is a piece of kitchen equipment and not something we're not here to fuck. You can specialise further. There are all manner of argots, idioms and patois to learn if you're so inclined. Bar 97 means there's a hot female nearby, as does chaud. That's French for hot. It's never a dull moment for the linguist, the polyglot, the phonemicist. You're always surrounded by a multitude of nationalities. Lexicon descends into base vernacular in the kitchen, where you learn many more colourful, useful concepts, such as prawning and tossing your salad. But be warned, these terms have as much to do with food as a rusty trombone has to do with musical instruments. Get lubed up, we're about to get fisted. Communication, tricky to define and almost impossible to teach. It helps to become very good very quickly. Unfortunately, it's full of vagaries and subject to a multitude of human failings. Start by getting to know your audience. Are they locals, celebrating a special occasion? Business people, diners, regulars, VIPs? Are they Russians, Americans, Asians? There's a flowchart of dependable behaviours that you can follow in your head if it makes things easier. No, it's not racially profiling. People are predictable, except for when they're being unpredictable.
Good evening, welcome to Aria.
Cervix!
You still got the snow egg on the menu?
You're in the wrong restaurant, madam.
Cervix! Cervix!
Excuse me, madam. Your burrata.
Is this an egg?
It's not an egg.
It looks like an egg.
Well, it's still not an egg.
God damn it, madam. You ordered the burrata. Don't you know what burrata is? And if not, why didn't you ask? Or why don't you nod and smile and say thank you and discover what burrata is? You might even surprise yourself. Find yourself enjoying it, rather than persisting with your medieval-minded deduction that it looks like an egg, therefore it must be an egg. Oh, I wish I was a better person. Of all the guests from all the countries we welcome to the restaurant, none would do our heads in quite like the Americans. If you're not used to serving Americans, they're a pain. Obsessed with micromanagement and the illusion of being in control, they insist everything be custom-made because they're special. I'll have the grilled chicken salad. So, have you looked at the menu? No, but what restaurant doesn't serve a grilled chicken salad? We don't, sir. Dressing and sauces must be served on the side. Bread is evil. They ask for tomato sauce with their Wagyu, and they can't wrap their minds around the idea that entrees are equivalent to starters. Americans dine differently. This isn't news, but it does make them easy target for ridicule. They're high maintenance and demanding, a direct consequence of how their own service industry operates. Slavery was never abolished in the States, it just evolved into the minimum wage. Not all of them are tactless and devoid of charm, and at least they have an awareness that formal dining follows a structured framework. They know the moment they're seated to order a pre-dinner drink, cocktails or champagne, to get proceedings underway. They sit down and they already know what they're going to order without looking at the cocktail list, which makes everybody's life, the waitstaff, the bar staff and the guests themselves, a little bit easier. She'll have a gin martini, Bombay, dry, with 2 olives, and I'll have a Gibson Tanqueray with onion and an olive. He wants a Grey Goose with a twist of lemon, straight up, and I'll have perfect Belvedere martini on the rocks. Boom. Just as well I didn't attempt to remember all that. I trust Gunjan knows what all these things mean, I think, as I sweat over the POS machine for a solid 10 minutes trying to enter the order correctly. Americans are prepared. They've got their priorities sorted. They want to capitalise on the company of their guests whilst enjoying a drink. It's in stark contrast to Trevor and Tracy, the Aussie couple out for dinner, catching up with friends. Would you like still, sparkling or tap water? Oh yes please, water. Can I get you started with some drinks? Look, we've only just sat down. We haven't seen each other in ages. What are we having, dolls? Would you like to start with a glass of bubbles, Prosecco, or should we just get into a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc?
Cervix!
I'm not drinking tonight. I've been
Cervix!
good. Oh, babe, good for
Cervix!
you. I didn't know. How long are you off the booze,
Cervix!
dolls? Jesus Christ. I'll give you guys a few minutes, shall I? It's what I bloody wanted in the first place. Can't they leave us alone around here? Bloody hate fancy restaurants. While this annoying charade is taking place, the waiter's entire section has been sat. I can guarantee his head's exploding right now because he needs to attend each table, take their drinks orders or ensure drinks are coming in the event that a runner or sommelier has taken the order, as well as verbal all the specials to the tables. Occasionally the waiter gets held up, and if his sommelier goes missing, looking for a bottle of wine in the cellar, say, then Trevor mightn't get to order his beer for another 10 minutes, by which time he's guaranteed to be pissed off. This can be avoided if the guest is better organised. We don't have this problem with Americans. From the opening of the door, there begins the subtlest of power plays. Guests have entered with enormous expectations, and it's our job to exceed them. We take control, corral and shepherd them to their table, explain why they can't have what's clearly the best table in the restaurant. Then we must woo and seduce them, pamper and indulge them, all whilst being acceptably submissive. There's an art to commanding the guest, and I was being schooled by the very best. You've been listening to 1001 Nights in a Two-Hat Restaurant with me, your host, Natasha Trechak, with big thanks to Brett, Ben, Terry and Val. If you liked this story, Stay tuned for more or go to www.treacherouschacha.com. Thanks for listening.